So Vanja Tokic, Group Community Lead, Advanced Analytics and Artificial Intelligence from Raiffeisen Bank International, Austria. Welcome on board, introduce yourself and start the presentation, Vanja. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody. It's really nice to be here with you today, even virtually. I'm looking forward maybe to meet some of you next year in person, as Musin said. I will talk to you a little bit about a case study from our organization, from the Raiffeisen Bank International, how we got about building an analytics organization in order to enable our data-driven transformation. And I know it's a mouthful, and everybody is doing it at the moment. I think that's why all of us are here. But let me start just a little bit with some facts about the Raiffeisen Bank International. So we are an international bank working in the CE region. We have quite a lot of experience. The bank itself is over 100 years old, and the last 30 years we've been active in the CE region in the 12 countries across the South and East Europe. We are working as a universal bank, so dealing not only with the retail customers, but also we have a strong corporate presence and also working with financial institutions and markets. And we like to view ourselves as a bridge between East and West. Maybe another important thing to say is that we are a cooperative bank. So all the banks in the region are independent banks. We are largely decentralized, which has a lot of advantages, but also has some, let's say, challenges that we have to deal with when doing these group-wide initiatives and trying to move the whole group as one. Good. I will be running through the slides a little bit faster because I would like to give you some room for questions as well. So I would like to finish in about 10 minutes. Maybe to tell you where I'm currently working in, it's the Advanced Analytics and AI tribe. It's a multi-department agile tribe, which is in charge of driving this transformation of RBI to a data-driven organization. So our main goal is to create data-driven solutions in order to improve customer value in the first place, but also, of course, to get some additional income and save costs and optimize. So we are working actually with all the business areas, so from retail to corporate to markets, but also the back office colleagues in operations, in HR, in compliance, and supporting them with using data science, with using analytics, with using AI in order to boost our business. Yeah? The approach, so we have this group-wide initiative for advanced analytics and AI, which we started about 3 years ago. In a concentrated effort. Of course, there were some pockets of analytics already popping up before that, but let's say in a strategic way, in this kind of a group initiative, we started about 3 years ago. So we started with building some infrastructure, with building our data collection strategy, customer-centric, on cloud. We built our data lake, started collecting the data. And the infrastructure, not just the data lake, but also the analytical workspaces which we use to develop models, are all cloud-based and based on open source. So this was really important in order to keep ourselves flexible, but also to be on the edge to be able to use the newest technologies. The team itself, it's a multidisciplinary team with a strong startup spirit. So we really try to innovate a lot. We do a lot of research. We fail a lot with a lot of our use cases. So I can say that based on this industry research, where there is about a 15% success rate of doing data and analytics use cases, I think we are around there. Between 15 and 20% of use cases are going actually to production. But luckily, we are doing so many experiments that there is a significant number and a visible improvement in the overall organization. with what we are trying to deliver. Yeah, and I think this this setup has proven to be a successful one. So we have let's say a competence center, a center of excellence here in RBI, but also we have started already 3 years ago to build independent teams both in business and also in all the network banks in the CE region. So their own hubs where they have data scientists, where they are working on their local analytics cases. And I think this approach is a very useful one, as long as you don't forget to do two things. One, to keep the people connected, so to build a strong community where we can exchange not just on the business and technology, but also on the personal side. So how we are going about doing this, and on the second side, to have a connected strategy, a connected overall goal, so that we are all moving in the same direction and that we know how we want to proceed and where we want to put our efforts in. So I am in charge of this AA&AI community. Currently, we have more than 100 data scientists across the region, but the community is actually much larger than that. So we are trying to enable the whole organization, the whole company, to embrace advanced analytics, to embrace AI, and in the first place to familiarize themselves with these new technologies. And that brings me to the second point. Yeah, advanced analytics and AI should support us in driving this transformation to a data-driven organization. But we are a very old organization. We have been existing for more than 100 years, and we have a way of doing things already, as any big organization, any big company has. So driving a transformation, and this is not the only transformation that we are doing. We are in parallel, we have been on a journey of doing an agile transformation of the company, so flattening the hierarchies, working in smaller teams together, trying to become more agile, more adaptive, in order to not just to keep up, but to be on the edge. We have in parallel a digital transformation. So, moving our business from the physical branches, from the paper-based business to a fully digital, mobile-enabled web business is another big part that we are doing. And the third pillar is this advanced analytics and AI. So using the next level technologies in order to support our business, but also to support our customers, more importantly, is where we need to focus. So having this challenge of being 100 years old and doing AI at the same time is something we gladly accepted, and we have been working on it for the last 3 years. So taking a different look at the transformation, yeah. So if we're just talking about this data-driven organization and data-driven transformation, we need several areas to cover. So the first one is technology. So we have to adapt and adopt new technologies in order to be able to do this. So we have a lot of legacy, we have a lot of old systems in place, which we have built 30, 40 years ago, that are not per se capable of utilizing the latest tech stacks. So investing in technology, going through data democratization, using cloud, enabling APIs to connect our systems, building, sequentially going from a data warehouse to a data lake to a data mesh, where I see that also some speakers later will be talking about it, is really important. The second part that we have to enable and we have to work on is our processes. So we have to adapt our processes in order to enable sharing of data, which is the first prerequisite. So having data as a bank is definitely an asset, but making this data available to everybody, so to other departments, to other units, also exposing it back to our customers so that they can leverage the data that we have to adapt our business processes. And also we have to adapt how we work. So I talked already this agile transformation, so changing the way how we are operating internally. And the third and the most important pillar is the people. So adapting, going through the change, supporting people in embracing this unknown, because there is a lot of new things coming, and people need to be able to first understand it, then to internalize it, and then they can use it and utilize this, these new technologies. So I will be talking about just this people and organization part of the transformation, and focusing then in a little bit. What we did is we built this advanced analytics community. We started iteratively with a very small group of people, about 50 people within the group, and we have been growing the community sequentially through organizing workshops, doing exchanges between the different departments in the bank who haven't traditionally been talking to each other, exchanging ideas, ways how we could do things. Building a group backlog of use cases where we can see what everybody else is working on, and using these ideas from other areas, and trying to leverage this in order to enable us better. Doing webinars to bring closer the data science, the modeling, this kind of the new technologies, and making it really broad. So inviting hundreds of people to join the webinars, to get familiar with this is really important. So it brings them something tangible. They know what it is about. They know what we are working on, what we are building, and how it can support them, how it can support the business and the customers. And the final piece of the puzzle is our Data Science Academy, which we also started 3 years ago. So we are in the third iteration of the Data Science Academy. We have been building it slowly. We started with 20 future data scientists, which we trained largely with support from externals, from consultants, but we built internal capabilities. I think this is really important. If you're going through such a change, you need to have a strong internal knowledge base and a group of experts who are able to pass this knowledge around in the company. So maybe just to bring it a little bit closer to you, what we did is we set it on 5 capability levels. So the first 2 levels, being aware of data science, being around data science, are e-learnings. They're available to all the employees. They're part of our onboarding. So we really want to put this at the heart of the trainings that people are doing. Going forward, contributors, so people from business who are using the solutions, who have to understand how to use the predictions, how to understand the predictions, how to integrate them into their business, all the way up to the modelers and the use case responsibles, where we offer specializations in time series, in deep learning, in network data analysis. So what we are trying to do there is we're trying to build this T-shaped skill of data science, going deeply into the data science techniques and tools, but also going broadly into enabling the organization, both on the technology side and on the soft skill side. Yeah. And maybe finally, I know that the time is really short, just to bring it closer to you. So what we actually achieved, what we are able to do, we have done a number of use cases, and this is just a few areas of things that we are doing. So going from anti-money laundering to text recognition, to cache optimization, tailored campaigns for customers, but also enabling customers with chatbots and approaching them through digital channels. Those are some of the things that we have been working on, and we are working in iterations. From idea to a final product, and failing a lot. And this is important, that when you are innovating, you enable and accept this failure as part of the process. Yeah. But of course, not everything is going smooth. There is a lot of challenges that we are tackling across. So from legal, from regulation, to never having enough data in time, dealing with blown expectations and buzzwords that are popping up all the time, keeping up with the market, or trying to stay ahead of the market, and having the right resources in place are all important things. But if you are managing to tackle all these 3 areas, I think you can as well be successful. And I'm very happy to talk about it for a lot longer. Unfortunately, we have a limited time, so I will stop here. And maybe in one of the breakout sessions, if you want to know more, then I'm very happy to support
Thanks.
you. Muhsin,
thanks a lot. Yes, thank you so much for the presentation. Very insightful. We have very little time, but if others have questions during the panel discussion, they can ask because we have more time there. So a question from Pinto, how you choose the right skills to build your T-shape and keep it future-proof?
So actually we are talking there with external support, with consultants. We are looking at what is out on the market. We are doing our internal research with our experts, looking at what we want strategically to build, so enabling cloud, enabling DevOps, building up a lot of skills there, but also we are doing a lot of research 15 to 20% of the time we spend on researching new technologies, trying to assess what is the next big thing that is coming on the market, and then accordingly adapting our programs.
Thanks a lot. It was a question from Jair from Kimberly Clark. Another one, if we have still 1 minute, yes. So let's see. Ali from Swiss, Ari, excellent insights, talent and skills wise. How did you balance between IT savvy people helping business areas, core business, people who would want to grow in data science, as well as pure data scientists who need to grow in in the specifics of your data sets?
So when we were starting, actually, we were doing a blanket approach. So anybody who was interested had a chance to apply, and then we were screening where it actually makes sense to upskill. So we got a lot more demand, which was surprising for us, than we had capacity to support. So with every next year, we were scaling up the capacities. But definitely, there is a lot of interest from business, from IT, and the data scientists. I think going forward will have to be integrated a lot more into business. So that's something that we are seeing right now.
Thanks a lot. There are more questions, Lazzarini from Nokian Tires and etc. But please keep the questions for the panel time, that in the panel discussion, we will be going through them. Thank you so much, Vanja. Thanks a lot.
I can also offer to answer the questions after and in writing if that's fine, and we can send it out to the.
I love this part. This is exactly what I wanted to ask. Thank you so much. Yes, please.